up, get up, get up, get up. Get up, get up, get up. Get up, get up, get up, get up.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to TPP Frontline episode 23. This is our final stop before Network Collision, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. In 48 hours, we will witness history. In 48 hours, ladies and gentlemen. History in the making. And almost every match, there's only one more match that needs to be determined, and that is if Damien Gamer accepts Die Hard's challenge. Other than that, every single match is set for Network Collision. So you need to go cast your votes now, ladies and gentlemen, because if you don't, then you're out of luck. And of course, tonight, TPP Frontline brought to you by MCW. Make sure to check them out on YouTube at MCW Promotions. Also, RCW. Make sure to check them out on YouTube at HRC Networks. And then, of course, our newly found sponsored channel. Make sure to check out Power Wrestling at Admin Animal on YouTube.com. Now, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, less than 48 hours away from Network Collision. That is big. It is a surreal situation. No doubt about it, ladies and gentlemen. No doubt about it. There's not a doubt in my mind that Network Collision is going to shape the way the power plant does business in all of its future endeavors. Now, we're going to start the night with Lance Owens, ladies and gentlemen. This young man, he's had ups and he's had downs. And everybody that watches the power plant can understand that, and they should be able to agree. Lance Owens, he tries so hard and he does so well. He's got to get into a groove, and he's slowly getting into that groove. He's got support from the fans, which is great. And his opponent tonight, though, is not a pushover. And I didn't expect to see, the champions competing tonight, but they aren't. Normally, the show before the pay-per-view, the champions get the night off, but not tonight. Die Hard booked this match, Lance Owens versus the current Adrenaline champion, Phoenix. And I'm definitely thinking this is going to be one of those, this is going to be a barn burner, no doubt about it. And with the Adrenaline Championship being contested at Network Collision this weekend, Orion James, he's got a great opportunity. He didn't win. Orion James did not win at Blood and Glory, but I think Orion James is ready for Network Collision. So let's hope, for Phoenix's sake, for the sake of his championship, he needs to be ready. Otherwise, he'll no longer be the Adrenaline champion, and he won't be able to gloat and bask in all of his glory. So here we go, Lance Owens versus Phoenix. Non-title matchup, one-on-one predicament here. Phoenix facing somebody much larger than him. And so it remains to be seen what's going to happen here. And Phoenix has speed. He's got the speed advantage over Lance Owens. But Lance Owens has a strength advantage. And as you saw there, Lance Owens, big running clothesline there. And now Owens sends Phoenix. No, he pulled him back into a drop toe hold. Basic mat wrestling right now from Lance Owens. And that's great. And as you see here, Lance Owens now taunting Phoenix. Runs in with the big boot in the corner. In the early going of this matchup, Phoenix is reeling. He's already, and now Phoenix starting to fight back. But it's just, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, this is a time in everybody's career that they need to be able to make the transition the right way. And that was a beautiful suplex into a jawbreaker from Phoenix. You don't see moves like that very often, but when you do, you know that they hurt. And Phoenix with that big kick right to the side of the head there. And now, and Owens responding with a knee face buster. And now Phoenix counters in the corner here. Phoenix with a beautiful springboard moonsault. And now what is Phoenix going to do in this situation? Phoenix with a quick Hurricane Rana reversal, or Hurricane Rana there. And this is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Phoenix can't exactly throw Lance Owens around. Lance Owens is, he's 40 pounds bigger. And Phoenix is not that strong of a guy. He's relatively small in size, so he can't just throw people around. And now Phoenix starting to get right out here in front of us here with Lance Owens. Phoenix has Owens back first onto the announce table here, and then Owens crashed face first right into the announce table. And that hot shot from Lance Owens. Beautiful hot shot there. Owens leaps off with the cross body. And now Lance Owens hooks the far leg here. 1, 2. Only a 2 count though for Lance Owens as this match continues on. And now we're seeing Lance Owens starting to slow this matchup down, keeping Phoenix, the high flyer, keeping the Adrenaline champion grounded. And that's a wise thing to do when you keep the champion grounded. But that suplex jawbreaker again from Phoenix. And now Phoenix sends Owens into the ropes, and Phoenix catches Owens with that rotating back slam there into the cover. 1, 2, and only a 2 count for Phoenix. And Owens, big hanging clothesline there. He got some definite hang time, and again Owens with the clothesline. And now a third clothesline from Lance Owens there, going to work. And wait a second, Lance Owens looking to end it early with that big elbow drop. And normally Lance Owens would have went for the pin there, but he didn't. And Owens with a quick cover here. And as you see, Phoenix able to start to get some momentum. What is Phoenix going to do? Phoenix with that cross body, and this is where that the speed factor comes into play. If Phoenix can manage to use his speed, he can outsmart Lance Owens. And a running face crusher from Lance Owens to Phoenix. And now again, Lance Owens going for the cover. 1, 2. But wait, no, Phoenix counters. 1. Only a 1 count though for Phoenix. And it's so intense with what's going on tonight, and then Network Collision this weekend is going to be such a great event. But Owens here with the crossface, he's got that crossface wrench. He's wrenching on the current Adrenaline champion using basic mat wrestling skills. Owens is kind of taking his time here. He's just pacing himself. And Phoenix trying to get out of this submission hold. He's trying to get out. And Owens using all his body weight here, holding Phoenix. So Phoenix cannot move right now. He can't crawl. He's just trying to get out of this submission hold. And Phoenix finally able to get himself out of that submission hold, but you got to wonder what toll it took. And now we're seeing Phoenix kick to the abdomen, then a drop kick right to the left knee. And that, when you get drop kicked in the knee, that will drop anybody. I don't care who you are, that will drop you. And again, the drop kick to the knee. And now, wait a second, Phoenix, with that X Factor, that face buster from Phoenix, hooks the far leg. 1, 2, almost a 3 count for Phoenix there off of that basic face buster. And now what is Phoenix going to do? Phoenix whips Owens into the ropes. And a quick elbow, a succession of strikes. And now Owens off the ropes again, runs shoulder first right into Phoenix. And now Owens on the momentum here. And Owens belly to back there, nothing fancy about it, a basic belly to back, but it's going to cause some pain. And now Owens again with the belly to back. And another quick roll up here by Lance Owens. Only a 1 count though for Lance Owens. And Phoenix starting to brawl back here, starting to get something going, trying to get something going against Lance Owens. And this is not the typical Phoenix that we see. We normally see Phoenix try to be much more high intensity. And wait a second, Phoenix, that German suplex from the top rope, that is definitely a momentum change of Phoenix. That corkscrew and then the cover here. 1, 2, almost a 3 count, but no. Somehow, some way, Lance Owens was still able to kick out. And now what is Phoenix going to do in this situation? He whips Lance Owens into the corner. Runs in ran up him and did a flip. And now a big chop block to the back of the knee. And wait a second. That's Orion James's theme song. Phoenix wants Orion James to come down to the ring, but wait a second. Lance Owens back to his feet. And wait a second. This is a quick roll up. 1, 2, 3. And Lance Owens has just beat the Adrenaline champion. Somehow, some way, a quick roll up there. Phoenix did not expect it, was unable to kick out. For Orion James's theme song hit and caused a distraction and allowed Lance Owens to capitalize. Lance Owens now holds a victory over the Adrenaline champion. I'm telling you, this does not go well for Phoenix, as he's heading into Network Collision with a loss right a couple of nights just before the big event. That's not going to sit too well, I don't think, with Phoenix. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're just kind of trucking along tonight. And so, as you see, Die Hard and Scythe, they're talking about something back here. I don't know what they're referring or what they're talking about, but guess we're going to find out. But anyways, as I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on here. We've got Travis Porter facing the current Internet champion, Bryson. And we've seen this before, Bryson and Travis Porter, and the result didn't vary too much. But Travis Porter's looking to make it. This is Travis Porter's last opportunity to get on the card for Network Collision. So you know that Travis Porter, he wants to get on the card. Because who does not want to be at Network Collision? I mean, let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen. You want to be at Network Collision. And if you're a wrestler and if you wrestle for TPP and you don't want to be there, then you're in the wrong form of business. You're in the business for the wrong reasons if you're not trying to get to those events. And Bryson now gingerly walking to the ring. With Bryson, he's tried to do various attacks from behind throughout the month. He's tried to get the upper hand, and last week, for Bryson, it's just things haven't been too good. He aided Scythe in a victory last week, and in about 48 hours, Bryson, you will meet your maker. You're gonna meet your destiny against Jimmy B. Martinez, and you know that Jimmy B. Martinez is ready for Network Collision. Now, is Bryson ready? We don't know. He says he's ready, but that remains to be seen. So what is it that Bryson can do to beat Jimmy B. Martinez at Network Collision? That remains to be seen. And as you see, Bryson holding his coveted Internet Championship and caressing it. So here we go, Bryson versus Travis Porter. We're going to get this underway. And Bryson, as like it was before, quick on the offense, as you saw there, kick right to the ribs and then hit right to the top of the head. But Travis Porter not taking it lying down tonight. He's going to fight, and he's going to fight because now he knows that the current champions can be pinned, as we just witnessed that just a few moments ago. But Bryson using his aggressive side. Bryson is coming into his own and being very aggressive. And as you saw, that elbow right to the top of the head, and that does not feel good. You got to believe that. That does not feel good. Bryson whips Porter into the ropes, catches Porter with that power slam. And now Bryson picks the leg and then floats over there. This was an interesting match choice, I feel, that Die Hard made, putting Travis Porter in a match with Bryson again. Since we already knew what the result was from before, but I guess maybe this was Die Hard's way of. I'm not sure what Die Hard's trying to get at when he does this. I know he's awaiting that response from Damian Gamer. And so that all remains to be seen. And Travis Porter, though, not backing down here. Beautiful Hurricane Rana there to Bryson. And Porter is not backing down. He's staying on the offensive here. He's staying very aggressive with the Internet Champion, and that's good. As you see, Travis Porter, he's dishing out the pain, but oh my God, did you see that power bomb? That maybe at 1, 2, almost a 3 count. Travis Porter somehow, some way managed to kick out. I mean, that power bomb looked like it almost broke the back of Travis Porter. And now Bryson starting to slow the match down again, getting things. Oh no, Travis Porter countered there. But Bryson back on the offense, that jumping arm breaker. And now, like I was saying, I mean, Bryson's going to start slowing it down. But if Travis Porter can keep this match high octane, then he can beat Bryson here tonight. And Travis Porter, big drop kick in the corner. And now what is Bryson going to do here? Bryson, a headbutt right to the shoulder. Nothing fancy about that, just a basic headbutt. And Bryson stomping away. And as you see, the referee admonishing Bryson for using the ropes, they're allowing Travis Porter to get back into the ring. Beautiful standing drop kick from from Travis Porter as Bryson was arguing with the referee. That was beautiful. It was just beautiful. And now, what is Travis Porter going to do? Travis Porter's looking for Frankensteiner out of the corner. Bryson turned inside out there. But no, Bryson, big pullback elbow. And now Travis Porter counters from the ground. And Travis Porter again getting flapjacked from Bryson. And now what can Bryson do? He's got to do something to put Travis Porter away. And a basic power slam hooks the legs. 1, 2, and only a 2 count for Bryson. Man, this matchup has a lot of hostility and intensity in it. And as you see, Bryson now telling Porter to stay down. And what is Bryson going to do? Bryson arm wringer there. And wait a second, Bryson has Porter up. And oh, that we saw that spine buster back at Blood and Glory. And wait a second, Travis Porter getting to his feet, and Bryson is stalking him here. Wait a second, the referee now admonishing Bryson. And as you saw, Travis Porter able to capitalize. And wait a second, a quick armbar here. And we saw this is Bryson's old finishing maneuver, this Fujiwara armbar. He is wrenching. He is wrenching on Travis Porter's arm. Will Travis Porter tap out? Bryson is he's going to hyperextend that elbow. I mean, he is wrenching extremely hard here. And it looks like Travis Porter tapped out, but the referee did not call it there. And now Bryson standing over Travis Porter. I'm not sure Bryson knows what's going on, and Bryson now continuing the attack on Travis Porter. I'm pretty sure that Travis Porter tapped out into the cover. 1, 2, and only a 2 count for Bryson. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that Travis Porter tapped out. I mean, that's what I saw. And that spinning wheel kick from Travis Porter there, mounting a little bit of a comeback into the cover here. 1, 2, and a 2 count for Travis Porter. And now Bryson with that big kicking boot there. And wait a second. What is Travis Porter starting to turn it around, use his speed to his advantage, and off the ropes and that leg drop bulldog right there. Travis Porter into the cover. This could be it. 1, 2, almost a 3 count, but somehow, some way, Bryson able to kick out. And now Bryson getting back into the ring. And Bryson a big right hand there. He's got the double underhook. And Bryson now, that double underhook suplex. That was a hanging double underhook suplex. And now Bryson starting to pick apart the body parts of Travis Porter. And, oh man, I can't believe what we've seen so far in this night. And this night is just getting underway, ladies and gentlemen. And wait a second, now Bryson again, Bryson is looking for something here. And wait a second, Bryson with that rock bottom type move hooks the far leg here. 1, 2, 3, and just like that, the same result as before, Bryson wins. And now what's Bryson doing here? Wait a second, Bryson's grabbing a steel chair. You won the match, just leave. There's no need for any of this. And wait a second, that's Jimmy B. Martinez's theme song. And there's JBM. He's sprinting to the ring. Bryson is trying to get ready. We might get network collision early, and Bryson getting worked over by Jimmy B. Martinez. And Bryson took a spill to the outside. JBM possibly just saved the career of Travis Porter, ladies and gentlemen. He possibly just saved the career of Travis Porter. That was an unexpected ending to that matchup, ladies and gentlemen. No doubt about it. And so we have to move on with the show. And so this is going to be a very interesting turn of events, especially for James Mackay, as he has to face the current #1 contender for the TPP Championship. He's facing James Braden tonight. And I don't like Mackay's odds. I'm hoping it doesn't happen the way I think it's going to happen, because like I've said a couple of times, James Mackay got thrown into this situation with TCO. I don't believe that James Mackay asked to be involved with TCO, and somehow he's found himself right in the thick of things. He's got Scythe attacking him in his debut match. He's got James Braden and Bryson trying to beat him down. He's got Die Hard trying to ruin his career that he's just trying to get started. That's all this kid is trying to do. He's just trying to build a wrestling career, to take care of his family, to just be happy. And TCO is trying to make his life a living hell. And ladies and gentlemen, that is what TCO does. They make your life a living hell. And right now, James Braden looks focused. I have not seen James Braden this focused in possibly 3 years. And I've called many matches that James Braden has wrestled in over the course of his years of wrestling, but the past 3 years have been pretty rough for him. And this month alone, he's been so focused, so determined. And that speaks tons about the possibility of what could happen at Network Collision. And so now it all remains to be seen what's going to happen. James Braden versus James Mackay. 2 Jameses in the match together. What James is going to win tonight? And here we go. And you can definitely see the size disadvantage for James Mackay. And as you see, James Braden here taunting right to Mackay. And again, look at just the physique. And that quick leg kick there by James Mackay. Now using the ropes as leverage, caught James Braden off guard. And he had to use the ropes to pick up James Braden, but James Braden turns it around. And then that big knee there. And now Mackay starting to get something going. Mackay looking for a quick pinfall here. Not even a 1 count for James Mackay. And now Braden attempted the elbow, but Mackay sidestepped it with that kick. And as you saw, Braden there with that dirty eye gouge, able to, turn the tide into his favor. And now James Braden opening up with the flurry of strikes and then that toss out of the corner. And now, that big shoulder block from James Braden. That shoulder block does not feel good. Anybody can attest to that, especially when, like I said, when it's a 280-plus pound man doing it. And that big rolling elbow hooks the far leg here. But no, the rope break saved Mackay there. And now James Braden, that big standing big boot. James Braden whips Mackay into the ropes, ducks under him. You don't see that very often. And then now James Braden float over neck breaker. What is... basic backdrop, and Mackay's got to get some separation between him and James Braden. Because if James Braden continues this onslaught, then it's going to be a very painful night for Mackay. And as you see here, James Braden, the third fist drop there. Mackay starting to get back to his feet. Braden with the elbow again. And now what is James Braden thinking here? James Braden has Mackay in the corner. And now just bullying, and again, using his body mass, his strength. He's bullying James Mackay right now. And now James Braden whipping Mackay back into the ropes. No, pulls him back into a drop toe hold. And this is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, with James Braden, he's a very experienced wrestler. He has much experience being a professional wrestler. Various years, he trained with Die Hard 90% of the time, if not more, if not 100%. So he's got that same intensity that Die Hard has, but he's got much more strength behind him when he does things. And like I said, Mackay's got to get some separation here. This isn't like wrestling somebody that's closer to your weight. With James Braden, he's too big of a guy to stay close quarters with. Into the cover here from Braden, and only a 1 count though for James. And now James Braden again going for the cover, but the rope break that time. And now Braden starting to stomp away, but Mackay trying that side headlock, trying to get a little bit of separation and kicking out the leg from an underneath him. Mackay off the ropes, and that big run, using the ropes as momentum, and again attempted, but no, James Braden catching him with that float over neck breaker. James Braden again in the driver's seat of this matchup. And now James Braden whips Mackay into that corner. Runs in with the big boot. James Braden is just taking his time here. He's going very slow. He's not exerting any additional energy that he doesn't have to exert. But Mackay there with a much needed counter into the standing tie-up here. And Mackay somehow got the better of the situation. And now going to work on the arm, a kick and a punch right to the back of the elbow. And now a beautiful German suplex with the bridge. 1, and only a 1 count though for Mackay on James Braden. And now Mackay starting to feel the anger and that frustration with those closed fist punches on James Braden. And now Mackay, quick dragon screw here. This is what he needs to do. He needs to keep the separation. He needs to keep James Braden off of his feet. And Mackay tying up that leg, and that'll definitely put you in a predicament where you can get some advantage here. And now James Braden somehow got the better of the situation there. But Mackay able to turn it around. Mackay whipping James Braden to the corner. No, he pulls him back into a headlock takedown. And now this is the problem. James Braden's so big, so strong. A backbreaker like that will 5 years off of your career. And now, wait a second, is James Braden looking to end the matchup? No, James Braden, T-bone suplex there. Like I was saying, I mean, oh, now look at this. James Braden, a single leg Boston Crab on Mackay, and he is wrenching on it. Mackay's trying to get to the ropes. Mackay's got to be able to move 280 plus pounds as he tries to crawl to the ropes, including his own body weight. And now Mackay's starting to get something going. As you see, Mackay holding his abdomen. He's not feeling too good right now. I mean, James Braden has been working him over a large portion of this matchup. But wait a second, Mackay reverses a quick forearm there. And Mackay's starting to get that distance. But wait, James Braden has got this double underhook. Lifts up Mackay, and oh, the backbreaker again on the lower back. Going right for the lower back into the cover. 1, 2. Only a 2 count, though, for James Braden. And now Mackay trying to use his speed. And Mackay, there's one kick, there's a second kick, and the third kick right to the back of the left knee. The surgically repaired knee. 1, 2, and only a 2 count. And Mackay's being very wise going after that left leg, because that's the leg that James Braden was, in physical therapy for. And as you saw Mackay there, the STO and then the backbreaker. The back neck breaker. And now Mackay ascending the top rope. Mackay, big moonsault, hooks the legs. 1, 2. Only a 2 count, though, for James Mackay on James Braden. And Mackay started to go off into the ropes, but Braden caught him. And now James Braden with a knee right to the side of the skull. And again, that's a second knee there. And James Braden just effortlessly throwing Mackay around the ring. He is effortlessly doing this, ladies and gentlemen. And Mackay counters. Wait a second, what is Mackay going to do here? But no, James Braden able to roll out of the way there. And Mackay still using his speed, and then that chop block again to the back leg, singling out that left knee. And this is wise for Mackay to do this. Going to work again on that knee. Oh, and a beautiful, beautiful standing drop kick from James Mackay. And now Mackay switches positions, and again going right after the leg, taking out the big man's legs. And that's what James Mackay has to do. He's got to take out the big man's legs. And Mackay, quick arm drag there. And again, right back to that left knee, to the left leg. James Braden, he's got to, if James Braden wants to win this matchup, he's got to stop taking damage to that leg. The more damage he takes, the less the likelihood is that he will win. And Mackay attempted a big drop kick there. Oh, and James Braden, a big right hand, and then the hot shot. James Braden ascending the top rope here. It looked like he was going to leap off, but he thought about it and didn't. And the elbow drop to the leg from James Braden into the cover here. 1. Only a 1 count, though, for James Braden. James Braden off the ropes. But wait, Mackay catches James Braden again. And now, Mackay is starting to get in a position where he can turn things around frequently, as frequent as he wants to. And now Mackay doing some body work, those elbows right to the chest. And now Mackay whips Braden into the ropes, runs back in onto the apron there. Oh, beautiful, beautiful drop kick. Wait a second, Mackay cross body to the outside. And now Mackay staring at James Braden, shades of what happened on episode 21. And now James Mackay starting to get some momentum going. Into the cover here, 1, 2, and a 2 count for Mackay here on James Braden. James Braden trying to get something going, but I think it's too late in this matchup for James Braden to get anything going. But wait, oh, James Braden, big right hand, and now these clubbing blows to the back and the double axe handle. And then again, 2 double axe handles back to back here. James Braden using his good knee as a weapon here, and now just striking the head. And James Braden, that big boot that just kicking Mackay backwards. 1, 2, and only a 2 count though for James Braden. And now Mackay and Braden back into the standing tie-up. Mackay gets the better of the situation. And a bridging Northern Lights, but the rope break there saved James Braden from even having to try to kick out. And Mackay runs in, missed with the shoulder, or he didn't miss, he didn't hit all of it though. It did not knock James Braden down. Mackay runs in, running shoulder thrust in the corner. Now what's Mackay gonna do here? It looked like Mackay was gonna hit the ropes, but he thought about it. And now Mackay lighting up into James Braden. Into the cover here. 1, 2, and only a 2 count for Mackay. And like I said, the longer this match goes, you got to wonder who's going to win. I mean, James Braden, a big powerhouse. You got to believe if he hits the FU, this matchup will be over. But if Mackay can lock in that cloverleaf, will James Braden tap out? And now James Braden's running in. Big boot there in the corner, using his good leg again. And now James Braden, he's calling for it. You got to believe he might be looking for it. No, quick roll up by Mackay. 1, 2, and only a 2 count for Mackay though. But that was a huge turning point there. And now Mackay with that modified spine buster. Wait a second, he's looking for the clover leaf on James Braden. James Braden has taken a lot of damage to that left knee. Will he tap out, or will he be able to get out of the submission hold? He's trying to reach the ropes. If only he was a couple inches closer, he would be there. Mackay is wrenching. And James Braden is tapping out. He's tapping out, and the referee calling for the bell. James Mackay has just made the current #1 contender for the TPP Championship tap out. That is huge, because James Mackay has just positioned himself for Network Collision to beat Scythe. If he can tap out James Braden, I hope and I pray that he can tap out Scythe, or whatever kind of match the TPP universe is, ends up voting for, which, ladies and gentlemen, the voting ends. Voting booth closes at the end of this show. So if you haven't voted for your matches yet for Network Collision, you need to vote, and you need to vote now, because otherwise your voice will not be heard. And then also make sure to watch the predictions video for your chance to win Microsoft and Xbox and PlayStation 3 gear. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the main event of the evening. Die Hard scheduled this matchup as probably in hopes that he would hurt Craig Hazard. So Scythe and Craig Hazard, the main event, the final match before Network Collision. And Scythe walking with a purpose tonight. And you can only imagine that is what Die Hard and Scythe were talking about backstage. Their game plan for this matchup. Scythe may be coming out to the ring by himself, but you gotta believe that's not his sole intention for this matchup. And now we're seeing Scythe taking his time here, coming to the ring. I can only imagine what TCO's got in store for Craig Hazard tonight, because you know that they plotted something. Something is in the works. So why would Die Hard put Scythe in a matchup with the TPP champion this close to Network Collision? So now it is time for the TPP champion to come to the ring and show Scythe exactly why he is the best in the business. And I say this week after week after week, every time Craig Hazard comes out here, but he is the champion because he's the best. And regardless of what Die Hard thinks, or Scythe thinks, or Bryson, or James Braden, or anybody else, Craig Hazard, week in and week out, a constant professional. He's always helping those in the back. He's always doing everything in his power to make the show work and make everything go as fluid as possible. And so when I say that Craig Hazard is the most deserving champion, I mean it. And I mean it because of how professional he is. Regardless of what he wears to the ring, he is a professional wrestler. He wrestles for the fans, by the fans, and he is a fan of wrestling, and that's what makes him such a great champion. And tonight, I'm hoping that he dishes out some true pain to Scythe, because Scythe needs to learn a thing or two about taking a beating. And here we go, Craig Hazard versus Scythe. Final matchup before Network Collision, before we see Craig Hazard face James Braden, before we see Scythe face James McKay, and Scythe got the better of the situation into the side headlock. And look at that, a quick Northern Lights into the bridge here, not even a 1 count on the TPP champion. And like I said, you got to wonder, what is the game plan tonight? What is TCO's game plan, 48 hours before Network Collision? And as you saw, the basic belly back, standing drop kick from Scythe. And Scythe is, he's not a super huge guy, but he's not very small either. Doing a standing drop kick like that is very impressive, to say the least. Quick power slam here. Scythe going for the cover, hooks to the leg. Only a 1 count for Scythe. And now Scythe going off the ropes, but Craig Hazard, catches Scythe with the arm drag. And again the arm drag, and are we going to see it? Craig Hazard runs in, flying Mayonnaise, and that is vintage Craig Hazard, ladies and gentlemen. Vintage Craig Hazard. Hazard with a quick backdrop here. And now what is Craig Hazard going to do? Craig Hazard putting Scythe onto the ropes. Whips Scythe into the ropes, leaps over him into that cross body there. And now Craig Hazard starting to have his way, side headlock right into that cross arm breaker. Wrenching on the submission here. Terry Gates right in position to call this submission if it happens. And Scythe has got to get out of it, and Scythe gets out of the submission somehow, some way. He got himself out. And Scythe with that dirty eye gouge, and then a bulldog from behind. And of course the TCO guys, they all do the damn eye gouges, and there's no reason to gouge out your opponent's eyes. You don't need to try to blind them to wrestle them. And now Craig Hazard, though, answering that eye gouge, and with a flurry of grapples, and now Craig Hazard, beautiful backbreaker there, hooks the far leg. 1, 2, almost a 2 count. Only a 1.5 there. That was 1 3/4, 1 9/8, 1 8/9. But again, Scythe with the eye gouge, the nose clip, the eye gouge. But no, wait a second. Craig Hazard turns him around. It's big spinning wheel kick right to the jaw. And Scythe is feeling that one. Hazard leaps off, attempted spinning wheel kick, but Scythe stepped back just for a moment, and now Scythe using those kicks to the ribs. He does this. He did that. We saw this recently, and that can cause internal bleeding, ladies and gentlemen. But Craig Hazard, not one to take that kind of punishment, and Craig Hazard, as you saw there, shoulder thrust, sending Scythe to the outside. And now what's Craig Hazard thinking here? Craig Hazard, moonsault from the apron to the mat outside. And ladies and gentlemen, that padding is not thickened. We always talk about how it's only about maybe a ½ inch, and it's nothing but cement underneath that. And now, a big slap from Craig Hazard to Scythe. Craig Hazard leaps in, float over Castle there. Hazard going for the cover here. 1, 2, and only a 2 count for Craig Hazard. And now Scythe, wait a second, Craig Hazard, quick roll up. 1, 2, and only a 2 count for Craig Hazard as this matchup progresses. And now, wait a second, Scythe starting to gain a little bit of momentum here. Scythe with a snapmare, and then the spinal tap right to the lower back. Scythe with the quick elbow drop. And then the kick right to the small of the back. Nothing fancy about it. And then a flurry of slaps, but no, Craig Hazard saw it coming. Hazard ascending the top rope again. Is Scythe going to get up? Hazard is stalking Scythe right now leaps off another moonsault to the outside, and this is why I say Craig Hazard is the TPP champion. He takes those risks not because he wants to hurt his opponent, but he does it for the fans. The fans love the entertaining aspect of it. Into the cover, 1, 2, and a 2 count for Craig Hazard, and I think Hazard knew he wasn't going to get the win off of that. He's just trying to work Scythe over, and Scythe with a big neck breaker, and that is what we call a momentum shift right there, as now Scythe looks like he may be in the driver's seat. And look at this is despicable. Scythe using the ropes to choke Craig Hazard and then slinging him back. Scythe now into the cover here. 1, 2, only a 2 count though for Scythe. And now again that standing tie up. Craig Hazard gets the better of the situation. Craig Hazard, oh, that arm wrench and then dropping it. And now Craig Hazard again going back to work on the arm, trying to work those arms. This way Scythe can't lift and, throw Hazard around. And Hazard, oh, eat defeat right there. Big kick right to the face, hooks the far leg. 1, 2, and only a 2 count. And Hazard, that kick to the ribs that is a difference maker in every matchup. And that bridging Northern Lights here. 1, 2, and only a 2 count again for Craig Hazard. Hazard off the ropes. Scythe catches Hazard with a flapjack. And now Scythe trying to maybe pick apart the legs, trying to slow Craig Hazard down. And Scythe with the basic side Russian leg sweep, nothing fancy about it. Now again going back to the kicks. Again with the kicks to the small of the back and the rib area. And Hazard, tilt-a-whirl backbreaker there. Just when you think you've got Craig Hazard beat, he mounts a comeback. And now Craig Hazard striking in the corner here. But no, Scythe counters. Scythe has Craig Hazard up on the top turnbuckle. And now, wait a second, Scythe looking for the big superplex to the inside of the ring. Hooks the far leg here. 1, 2, almost a 3 count for Scythe. And now what is Scythe going to do? Scythe's got to do something here. Because Craig Hazard is the champ. Like I said, I've said it numerous times, he's the champion for a reason. Into the cover here. 1, and only a 1 count for Craig Hazard. Hazard off the ropes, but Scythe again catching Craig Hazard with that flapjack, and again with the kicks right to the rib and back area. Now that half Nelson reverse suplex, and Scythe with the basic knee drop, and again with the knee drop. And now Craig Hazard counters and pulls back into the big knee to the ribs of his own. And now Hazard with a knee right to the side of the skull, showing Scythe he can kick people in the ribs too. Into the cover here. 1, 2, and only a 2 count again for Craig Hazard. And now Scythe starting to he's trying to slow the match down. That's what Scythe is trying to do. And Craig Hazard, when Craig Hazard gets rolling, he's very high octane. And I don't know if Scythe is prepared for that. And Scythe tying Craig Hazard up into the tree of woe. And now Scythe choking Craig Hazard from the outside. As you see, the referee admonishing him. Scythe getting back into the ring. And now a knee again to the side of the skull. Now going for a cover. Very arrogant cover here. 1, 2. And Craig Hazard, our TPP champion, able to kick out. Hazard with the kick right to the ribs. And now another kick right to the ribs. And what is Craig Hazard going to do? Oh, big back chop right in the corner. And now Craig Hazard choking Scythe with his boot. Just trying to work Scythe down. And a big drop kick there out of the corner. And now Craig Hazard, a flurry of strikes, but no, Scythe saw it coming. But Hazard countered that kick, and then with a basic trip, nothing fancy about that, a basic trip. But wait a second, Craig Hazard, this modified camel clutch. This is a very painful submission hold, and Scythe has nowhere to go. He's got to either tap or else he's got to get out of this submission hold. He's got to do something. And Scythe with the snapmare to get himself out of the submission. But wait a second, Scythe answering with his own submission, or pinching the trapezoidus muscle. And it's very painful. He's just pinching and squeezing on it. What can Craig Hazard do to get out of this? And wait a second. Oh, a big chop block right to the back of the leg. That's one way to get out of a submission. That is definitely a good way to get out of it. And now Craig Hazard starting to pick apart the leg here of Scythe. He's trying, like I said, Craig Hazard is just trying to weather this storm. I'm surprised thus far we haven't had any interference from TCO, but that's good. And now into the cover here. 1, 2, almost a 3 count, but Craig Hazard still able to kick out. And now Craig Hazard, a flurry of kicks and strikes. This is what Craig Hazard is known for. And look at this, again, going right to work on the legs. No wasted motion on the current TPP champion. Craig Hazard, spinning wheel kick there. That'll knock you into next week. And now Craig Hazard has Scythe in the corner. Oh, big right hand, and then the big back chop. Craig Hazard, you got to believe he's looking for the hip toss out of the corner. A big, big hip toss. And now Craig Hazard, you got to believe he's feeling it. Pulling that elbow pad, making sure it's nice and firmly on there. So you got to believe Craig Hazard might be looking for his patented 3 elbow combo off the rope. And oh, Scythe with a big kick right to the back of the head into the cover here. 1, 2, and only a 2 count again for Scythe. Craig Hazard will not die. Quick arm drag there from Craig Hazard. Runs in, flying Mayonora. And as you see, Craig Hazard showing the wear and tear that this matchup has taken. And now Craig Hazard switches position to a side headlock. And oh, that dragon screw, beautiful, beautiful dragon screw by Craig Hazard. And now Craig Hazard jumping on the arm there. And now Scythe and Craig Hazard, still going at it here. And Scythe gets the better of the situation. Scythe pushes Hazard down, and a basic knee breaker tying up the leg. And now Scythe with an elbow drop to the left knee, and then again the flurry of kicks. The kick right to the small of the back. And wait a second, Scythe with that implanting DDT hooks the far leg here. This might be it. 1, 2, and almost a 3 count, but Scythe was unable to put Craig Hazard away. And Craig Hazard raised knee lift there. And again the knee lift. And now Craig Hazard whips Scythe into the corner. And now big backbreaker. Wait a second, what is Craig Hazard doing? Craig Hazard going to the top rope. Leaps off with the body splash, hooks the far leg. 1, 2, almost a 3 count, but Scythe somehow kicked out. And now Scythe starting to try to dictate the pace of this match. The kick right to the ribs again. And wait a second, Craig Hazard counters from the ground. Oh, and a short arm clothesline from Craig Hazard there. And Craig Hazard, a flurry of strikes. And oh, that standing clothesline there. And now Craig Hazard has Scythe.
Whoa. I hear this matchup is over. You need to be ready for network collision, Craig Hazard. Everybody needs to be ready for a network collision. And so, Craig Hazard, I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Good luck, because you're going to need it at Network Collision. But I'm not saying good luck for Network Collision. I'm saying good luck for about what is going to happen to you tonight.
And now TCO is surrounding the ring after, of course, this match gets thrown out. Wait a second. Braden and Scythe are in there. Scythe with the big clothesline to the back of the head. And now, of course, TCO stomping away on Craig Hazard. I knew they had a plan. I knew it. And now Hazard starting to get back to his feet very gingerly here. And Scythe with the Reaper's cut, and TCO reigns supreme tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Network Collision is this weekend. Make sure to tune in on Saturday night. We are out of time for the night. I am Christopher Billings. We'll see you guys at Network Collision.